All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into something I think a lot of us are searching for,
Mhm.
a breakthrough in spirit.
Yeah.
And this actually comes from a YouTube video that someone sent to us titled Breakthrough in Spirit from a channel called Small Seed Videos.
Yeah.
And, looking at it, it's all about connecting with something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
Really excited to dive into this with you today and see what we can discover.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the video uses that language of opening up to the universe.
Yeah.
I think it points to something pretty deep.
Definitely. Yeah. And it talks about like beginning each day with that intention of openness and receptivity.
Right.
What does that actually look like? Walk
I
through.
think a good way to think about it is like creating space for stillness.
Okay.
Starting your day with a quiet cup of tea or maybe some mindful stretching,
Yeah.
or even just taking a few moments to focus on your breath. The idea is to like step away from all the mental clutter and just kind of invite this sense of calm before the day even really begins.
Absolutely. It's like intentionally setting the tone for the day.
Exactly.
And the video goes on to talk about digging deep into our soul to find empathy and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, uh, I found shadow work can be really uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but it's often in those dark corners that we find our greatest strengths, you know?
I totally agree. Facing those parts of ourselves that we might not like so much can be really challenging.
Right.
But I think it's through that process that we actually develop true compassion for ourselves and for others.
Absolutely. And it almost seems like, facing those inner shadows could lead to that deeper connection with something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, the video mentions learning from teachers and masters who can guide us on this path.
Right.
It's tough to know exactly who or what the video is referring to,
Yeah.
but with so many paths and traditions out there,
Mm.
how do you think someone should approach finding the right guidance for them?
Well, it's true. There are so many options. It can feel overwhelming.
Right.
Um, I would say the most important thing is to trust your intuition.
Folk.
What resonates with you, what feels authentic to your own values and experiences.
Right.
It's okay to explore different teachings and practices until you find something that really speaks to your heart.
So you said experiment.
Hmm.
Are there any red flags,
Oh, yeah,
that someone might encounter when exploring these spiritual paths?
for sure.
How can someone discern, authentic teachers from those who might be seeking to exploit?
That's a really important question. A genuine teacher is going to empower you to think critically,
Hmm.
to question assumptions, and ultimately to find your own truth.
Yeah.
They won't demand blind faith or obedience.
Right?
So be wary of anyone who claims to have all the answers or tries to control your choices.
That's such a great reminder to trust your gut.
Absolutely.
This next line from the video really stuck with me. It says, if you want to have a breakthrough in spirit, there's joy and happiness to be had.
Mm,
But isn't joy also a catalyst for that shift?
yeah,
It's kind of like a chicken and egg situation, right?
it definitely is. I mean, while the video presents joy as like a result of the breakthrough,
Yeah.
I think cultivating joy in our daily lives can actually create the conditions for that shift to happen.
Okay.
It's about nurturing that sense of gratitude and wonder and appreciation for the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
which can then open us up to deeper experiences.
I love that. So speaking of deeper experiences, what does a breakthrough in spirit actually look and feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, the video talks about this amazing transformation,
Right.
but what are some tangible signs someone might experience?
Well, it's going to be different for everyone, of course.
Right.
For some people, it might be like a sudden, profound shift in perspective, almost like a veil lifting.
Wow.
For others, it might be a more gradual awakening, a deepening sense of peace and purpose and connection. It's not necessarily about fireworks and big dramatic events, but more about a subtle but really powerful change in how we experience the world and ourselves.
Yeah, the video makes it pretty clear that this kind of transformation takes work.
Right.
It says, you will not just show up. We have to put in the good work on the three: body, mind, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see these three elements connecting in our pursuit of growth?
Well, a lot of traditions view the body, mind, and spirit as like interwoven threads of our being,
Okay.
and neglecting one can impact the others.
Mm-hmm.
So the work might involve practices that nourish all three.
Right.
So things like yoga or mindful movement for the body,
Yeah.
meditation or study for the mind, acts of kindness or service for the spirit.
I like that. So as we start to wrap things up, any final thoughts for our listener as they continue on this journey towards a breakthrough in spirit?
I'd invite you to consider this instead of breaking through. What if we focused on opening up or tuning in to something that's already present within us. It's less about forcing a dramatic change and more about cultivating the awareness and receptivity to allow that transformation to unfold naturally.
That is such a beautiful way to put it. And it reminds me of that saying, what you seek is seeking you.
Oh, I love that.
Maybe the breakthrough isn't about reaching some distant peak,
Yeah, right.
but about recognizing the vastness and the potential that already exists within each of us.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, and a huge thank you to you for your incredible insights.
It's been a pleasure.
There's been another deep dive. See you next time.
Bye.
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.